This is my theme park, and I have a question. Can you reach $1 million only using starter tiles? Well, let's find out. I'd like to introduce you to my park. Right now, there's literally nothing inside, and since we have such a small amount of land, I'm going to need to build very tight. I started off by deleting all this stuff since we didn't need it, and now that that's done, I started building my first path, and I also built a drink, pizza, and washroom place. I finished off by adding a tree, and now we were starting to make some money. Obviously, this is a theme park and we needed some roller coasters, but we didn't have enough money. So I just placed this drop tower instead. I opened it up and we were off to a pretty good start since we barely used up our space. I completely forgot about the ride and everyone was trapped, so I also built a path. I only have $8,000 left, so I'm gonna save up so we can build our first coaster. We now have 10k, which is 1% there. But anyways, that should be enough to build a coaster, so I built a path for it and decided to place this green one. Now it's time to build, but we had a problem. I don't even know how to build coasters and we don't have a lot of space, so I have to be very careful with how much I use. The coaster was finished, so I built the entrance and the exit and added some more stuff. Now we're done. The coaster doesn't take up a lot of space, but anyways, I opened it and went to try it out. It's honestly not too bad for our first coaster, but I didn't like the color, so I'm gonna change it to something better. Now it looks very nice. I guess we're also enjoying the coaster a lot. We barely had any money left, and if we're trying to get to 1 million, we better start working harder, so I'm going to grind for some time. After a little while, I had some more money to spend, and I checked on my guests only to see them complaining of being tired. So I placed a couple picnic benches, and I also added a couple more stalls. Now our customers should become happier, which may increase our ratings more. I tried to see if I can save up money for pre-made rides, but that's when I realized roller coasters are big. So it will be kind of challenging to build actual good coasters with such little space. Anyways, I'm gonna stop spending money and save up because we need 1 million, and right now I literally have nothing. I have 20k now, and I also have 1 star, which is pretty good. I decided to build a second coaster to make more money, so I began building, and I was about to build into my other coaster, so I had to figure out this precise building tool to navigate the unforeseen circumstances. I finally figured it out though, but I was making a big mistake, because right over here, I forgot the chain lift. And if you forget the chain lift, nothing can lift the roller coaster. I of course just kept building until I realized, but then I just decided to use the normal building tool instead, so I continued building the roller coaster. The coaster was done, so I finished up by building an entrance and an exit, and I also painted it. Now we had 2 coasters and we still had a lot of space left, which is a very good thing. I went to test out the ride, and for some random reason, I made it extremely close to the blue coaster. Very nice. We were now at 1.5 stars and still super poor, but at least we were now making much more money because of the coasters. I checked in on my guests and they were all super tired, so I placed some random benches everywhere. I really need more money, so I'm gonna AFK for some time. I have $30,000 now, but we are still making money pretty slowly, so I'm gonna build another ride. I decided to place it here, and now I'm gonna build it. I finished the coaster, and it took up quite a bit more space, but anyways, I once again built the entrance and exit. I also wanted to place a few more stalls that were not in my park yet, and they immediately started making money. I opened up the ride and decided to test it. And even though it's not the best, it doesn't matter, because our main goal is to make money. I had some extra money and space, so I may as well add some extra decorations and build a better ride entrance. I finished the entrance, and I also added these cool flashing lights that show the entrance and exit. It looked pretty cool overall, but I was starting to run out of space because I was building so many coasters, so I'm gonna spend more time AFKing to get some more money. I now have $66,000 and nearly 2 stars, and honestly, if it took 2 hours just to get this much money, It would take literal days to reach 1 million. So I'm gonna need to fill this space up with more stuff. So I renovated the picnic area a little bit. Then I realized that maybe we don't have to pack everything so tightly since we have so much space. So I'm gonna keep building. I placed down another drop tower over here, and I'm also gonna add a few paths and decorations for it. And I was gonna build another roller coaster, but I realized all the ones I haven't built were costing way too much money. So I'm gonna save up 100k to build one. It's been about 2 more hours now, and I finally have 100k. So I'm gonna build a path for the roller coaster I was talking about. This time, I decided to place my favorite ride, the horse coaster. So I placed it down and started building. And I wanted this ride to be as similar to a real horse experience as possible. So I made sure to make this the stupidest ride ever. Now it's done, so let's test it out. That was a very nice ride. So I'm gonna build a very nice looking entrance for it. Now the ride is finished, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out. We used up some space, but we still have a lot left, so I'm gonna start AFKing to get some more money. We now have $250,000, which means we were 25% there. We were also doing pretty good in terms of space, so I think now would be a good time to build another coaster. I'm gonna buy this multi-launch coaster, and I started building it. And with just a finishing touch, it was complete. I deleted this stupid tree since it was in the way, and this is what the coaster looks like. I know it's not the best, but yeah. But anyways, let's build an entrance. I finished it up and decided to name this coaster the Joseph coaster. Who's Joseph? This is Joseph. I also wanted to add an image, so I decided to just search up monkeys and put the first image that appears. Very nice. Actually, I changed my mind. I wanted something else, so I'm just gonna pick this. And it didn't work, so I have no choice but to stay with this. I started clicking on random people, and they were all complaining about tiredness again, so I'm gonna place even more random benches. Now we should be good, and I wanted to fill this extra space, so I put a pineapple tower. I placed it down and built an entrance for it too. Now our park was looking more and more full, and we also now have 2.5 stars, which means we might even hit 5 stars in this challenge. I'm gonna grind for some more money. After 4 hours, we had 500k, which means we were 50% there. I checked the chat, and some random people were just saying some stuff, and I also placed down another coaster to start building. I finished, and this coaster probably had the craziest turns in the whole park. For this coaster, I built it in between these other stuff, so we still have a lot of space left. I went on the roller coaster and had a very cool experience. Our park was still somehow at the same rating as before, so I'm gonna see if I can improve the rating by adding some more decoration. I'm also gonna name the park Finger because I cannot think of anything else, and because it looks like a finger. I spent some more time placing some food stalls and other stuff, and now we reached 3 stars, which is better than before. I wanted to go check out some other parks, and then I saw this guy who was very much enjoying his extra land that I wasn't allowed to have. And then I went back to my park and saw this stupid piece of shit. I'm gonna grind for some more money. It's been a couple more hours, and I was now 75% there. Since we still have a little bit of land, I'm gonna do my final big expansion. I added a couple trees and decorations, and I'm gonna build my final roller coaster. I placed it down and tried to make one that would look nice. Now it was all finished, and it looked pretty cool, but now most of our space was taken up. I added some fences and built a better entrance and decided to name this coaster something very appropriate. All my other rides were all blue, so I decided to change the color of this ride too. We still had a tiny bit of extra space left, and I wanted my park to look more full, so I added this observation tower and also this Ferris wheel. Now my park was pretty much complete, and we also reached 4 stars and 100 people for the first time. I'm gonna grind for some more money so we can finally reach our goal of $1 million. It's been a couple more hours and we were finally getting so close to 1 million. I wanted to do one last thing and try to get us to 5 stars, so I checked to see what our guests were complaining about. I added a few more food and drink stalls and a couple extra decorations and also this balloon stand. Anyways, now it's time to finally get our 1 million. We were getting so close, and finally, we reached $1 million! After so long, we finally did it. So to celebrate, I built the washroom tower, and it looked very beautiful. Our park was almost at 5 stars too. But anyways, in total, it took 26 hours and 38 minutes, which is a very long time, so please subscribe. Okay, bye-bye.